my friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany, and in today's video we are doing week 2 in our organization and deep cleaning 52-week challenge. I am following the Passionate Penny Pincher Planner plan for deep cleaning and organizing your entire home. I talked about this in my goals. I also talked about this last week, and I am super excited. Last week we did week number 1, which was the pantry, and I was so thrilled to get that done. So nice to have that clean and just ready to go so that every time I bring in groceries, everything is just easy to put away. So in this week's challenge or organization task, we are working on the refrigerator. Now, my refrigerator gets a lot of love all day long. There are 7 of us that live here, and it's gotten an extra lot of love over the last week during Christmas break. So today is Monday, New Year's Day, when I am filming this. You'll probably recognize this outfit from my Sunday reset, but we are going to be tackling this refrigerator. We're gonna take everything out, we're gonna deep clean it, we're going to reorganize it and get it ready to go. I've got so many leftovers and everything in there that need to come out. I'm also gonna take a little bit of inventory so that way if there's something that I'm low on, I can reorder. I like to always just have one extra in the pantry. So for example, ketchup and our favorite salad dressings, those types of things that when it goes out, I get the one from the pantry and then I replenish the one in the pantry. That's just how I like to do it. It helps me stay on top of those types of things. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Hopefully you are here for it. Get yourself a snack or a hot beverage. I have made myself a cup of coffee, and let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do to get started with this deep clean out is remove as much as we can from the fridge. Now, this was such a big project, you guys. I really didn't feel like removing every single thing from the refrigerator. So I'm going to be honest, I didn't take out every single thing from the doors and everything. I just focused on getting everything out of the center. So everything off of the shelves as well as in the drawers. So that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to work on getting everything out, and then we'll clean it and get it reorganized. I also just want to mention that I am not stocking the refrigerator in this video. You already saw that in Sunday's reset that you saw last week. If you missed it, make sure you go check it out. I did restock the fridge and the pantry, but for this video, we are just focused on getting everything out and clean, and we will focus on filling it in a different video. Once I had everything out of the shelves, I went ahead and sprayed them down with some Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose spray and used just a damp cloth to wipe them down. These cloths are from Amazon. These are my favorite cleaning cloths. I use them all of the time. I think they're actually labeled a polishing cloth, which they definitely do a wonderful job of polishing things clean. I will link them for you down below. They're great. You will probably notice that I use them in almost all of my cleaning videos. So just going to take a second to wipe everything down. These are obviously removable. You could take all of this out, bring it over to your sink, give it a good clean. However, I had my sink full of leftover bins that I needed to clean out, leftover containers that I needed to clean out and get into the dishwasher. And I just didn't feel like doing all of that. And that's okay. If you need to deep clean something, but you don't want to take every single thing out, then do what I'm doing. Do a little bit of a mini deep clean and you still get the job done. It still gets better than it was, but you're not tired and ending the job before it's done or, feeling resentful about how you spent your time. So I was still able to do a really good job of getting the fridge clean and not completely give up my entire afternoon. I'm also going to put things back in here in sections. So since I've already got the shelves done, I'm just going to put things back in. I've got that little Lazy Susan there that I've had for years. I got that at Ross, and it just has, some creamer, different types of creamers for coffee and things like that. Behind it, I'm just putting some of our cocktail items. And then we're also going to bring in just kind of anything I had left over on hand. Remember, this is not a restock. This is just a deep clean. So just bringing in things that I already had, like those juices and the oat milk. And I'm just going to work on trying to give everything a spot. I'm not really worried about it looking super cute. I love when people buy all those different containers for things. And I think that looks really, really aesthetically pleasing. But we restock this fridge multiple times a week. And so I just cannot spend all that time. It already takes so long to put groceries away, and I've just got to be efficient with it. So I'm trying to keep everything as close to the front of the shelves as possible so that I don't lose items in the back. And I also have these clear containers from the last time I organized the refrigerator that also have those same white labels that I used in the pantry. I will link all of that for you down below. Right now they look pretty sad because they're empty, but they're normally not, I promise. Here's a look at my meat drawer. This is the big drawer at the bottom of my refrigerator. It desperately needed some cleaning, as did the cheese drawer and the vegetable drawer. So again, I'm just going to use some of that Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose spray. And for these, I'm going to use some paper towels because they were pretty grody and I didn't want to use a cloth for these. So just going to get these nice and clean. And then again, we'll just put back some of the items. I don't have vegetables to put away in this video. I feel like a broken record. We're not restocking everything, just putting away the things that I have that are not bad and that can go back into the refrigerator. Again, those labels that are on the drawers are from that same label set that I got on Amazon. It really does come with a lot of them. And I'm recently looking into purchasing some more organization items for my kitchen cabinets and drawers, as well as kind of our medicine closet. And one of the things that I have in my current cart right now are some labels for the bottles that I use for cleaners, because I do have some glass bottles and some amber bottles that probably would be better off if they were labeled. So you'll have to stay tuned for those videos coming up. We're going to have so much organization over the next several months. I cannot wait to see how my house looks at the end of the year. We're going to have to do some major comparison of before and afters. now that these drawers are cleaned out, we're going to go ahead and restock what I already have. So I've got these 2 different containers in here for the cheese in the cheese drawer. And then down here in the meat drawer, I'm just going to put back some leftover pizza, some chicken sausage, as well as our lunch meat and some other meats that we have that were still good from my last order. I love having the meats down in this bottom drawer. It makes it really easy for me to see what I have. I can kind of display everything. So when I'm meal prepping, I know exactly what to grab, or when I'm putting in a grocery order, I can just easily see what I have in there. Now I'm going to take a second to work on the doors. As I mentioned already, I'm not going to take every single thing out. I am just going to kind of take out what's bad, what's almost empty, and what we don't use anymore, what I've kept even though people don't like it, that kind of thing. We're just going to weed stuff out, get rid of what we don't need anymore, and then kind of resituate everything. We've got a lot of condiments in here and things like that. I'm sure you guys do too. That's pretty typical for refrigerators, I'm sure, but sometimes we have to remember to throw out things that people don't like. It doesn't just have to sit there till it goes bad. If nobody's going to eat it, just get rid of it. I need to tell myself that more often. I have such a hard time getting rid of food. I don't like to waste it, but I also don't need to hold on to it if nobody's going to eat it. So if you needed to hear that reminder too, get in your fridge, toss out some of those condiments or leftovers that nobody's going to eat. Because no matter how much you hoard it, it doesn't mean somebody's going to ingest it. Okay, now we're going to move down into the freezer, which as you can see here is just a little bit over full. And what's crazy is a lot of this stuff was freezer burned and needed to get, rid of anyways. I needed to get rid of it anyway. And I had like popsicles in here that were leaking all over the bottom, just lots of stuff that needed to get just gone through, tossed, stuff that was left over from summer break, like so much stuff in here. And I'm going to be honest, my camera did die towards the end of me cleaning out the freezers. So it's going to look like I really didn't keep anything, but that's not true. I did keep a lot more than it looks like, but I needed to restock the freezer as well. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we were going to be doing some inventory. So there are some staples I like to keep in my freezer, all of the time. I like to have some kind of frozen meat. We do have a deep freezer. It's still over at my in-laws' house from when we were there. And I do need to go and get that so that we can move it over here and, store meat. So that way I'm not going to buy meat as often as I do now. Danny and I are also looking into investing in just purchasing a cow since there's so many of us in this family and we eat so much. So it would make sense for us to do that financially. But anyway, long story short, I do like to just keep some staples here in the freezer so that we have them. My kiddos love frozen chicken tenders in the air fryer. They like egg rolls and Tostinos and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of some snacky food.
Obviously, it's not the staples of their diets, but if we have it on hand for when they have friends over or a quick lunch on a Saturday, it really does make life a lot more simple, and we're not spending as much time making big giant meals. So we're just gonna finish wiping off the inside of the freezer now, get it nice and clean, and then we will restock it with what we have until the groceries are brought in, which again, as I've already mentioned, you're not going to see in this video. Make sure you go back and check out last Sunday's reset if you would like to see that. On the top here, I have a lot of items that are bad. They're just expired, some phyllo dough, that kind of thing. Those lemonades back there were actually like half defrosted, which was a little weird and concerning. And I also had some frozen orange juice ice cubes that I had made for Christmas morning and for mimosas. And definitely I think I need to find a reason to have a mimosa this weekend. So that I can have some of those because I forgot they were in here. So we're going to wipe this down and then we're going to go ahead and get all that stuff back in, and it's going to be time to make a list to restock our inventory. And here is a look at the refrigerator, completely reorganized, deep cleaned. As I mentioned, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing refrigerator. I'm sure you can find some really beautiful ones here on YouTube, but it is real. This is what our refrigerator truly does look like right now. And I'm really happy that I was able to get this cleaned up and reorganized for the start of the new year. As I mentioned, I also wanted to make myself a quick little list for some things that I needed for the freezer inventory, as well as the refrigerator. And here is my list.
And that is it, you guys, for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed coming along with me and deep cleaning and organizing the refrigerator. I feel so much better now that that is done, ready to start the week feeling energized and productive, and I'm super stoked. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. That really helps out my channel, and subscribe if you aren't already. I'll see you next week for week 3 of our organization challenge. See you soon, my friends.